Well, Mbali, today we saw the ANC in Gauteng postponing a much-anticipated press briefing. It's expected to be on the outcomes of its Provincial Executive Committee meeting. Of course, we've seen the last week different leaders of the ANC being embroiled in different controversies, especially around procurement of contracts when it comes to PPEs, sanitization of schools. Tell us more about that.
Well, that's right, Kathy. If today's revelations are anything to go by, one would say that the ANC in Gauteng was basically waiting for the judgment which we saw from the special tribunal, which has since cleared David Makhura, who is, of course, the premier for Gauteng, of any wrongdoing. You would know that he was implicated in that PPE tender corruption scandal. After that affidavit from the CFO, from the health department in Gauteng, saying that, well, it was David Makhura who's also at the center of the PPE corruption, specifically in the Gauteng province. Kathy, you'd also know that the Gauteng province also fired its health MEC, Bandile Masuku, also for his role in the PPE corruption tenders, as well as we know that the issue around Kusela Diko, of course, she was also implicated in that corruption, Kathy, looking into that matter. We know that she is still on special leave. Another person who's also been implicated, Kathy, we have to single out as well, Panyaza Lusufi, who's of course the MEC in Gauteng for education. It is, of course, the costs. When you look at the costs for the sanitization of schools, that amounted to 431 million rand. So he has also been called in here for, of course, the issues around how much was spent looking into, when they had to disinfect schools in Gauteng for 3 months. That's also another very big corruption scandal when it comes to the MEC for education. One more person, Kathy, who's also been implicated in allegations of corruption is, of course, Jacob Gawe. He is, of course, the ANC secretary in Gauteng. He has been accused of meddling in municipalities in Gauteng when it comes to awarding of insurance contracts in the province. Now, we know that these contracts are said to have gone to Kawe's partner, Kathy. It is for also this reason that some in the ANC are calling for him to step aside. So the ANC in the province, Kathy, has a lot of questions to answer to, especially now looking into all of these three senior leaders in the province who are implicated in, of course, these issues of corruption. But we know that we've seen that statement coming out from the ANC saying that, well, they have postponed that press briefing, which was, of course, expected to take place today. So we will wait and hear from the ANC in Gauteng when exactly they will be answering to the public.
It's going to be a big litmus test for them because ultimately people will be looking to see in Mbali if they're able to apply consistency when it comes to the issues of whether somebody's guilty or not and bringing the party into disrepute. That's one of the key matters that is going to be on the table. While speaking then of allegations of corruption, the State Capture Commission of Inquiry again today taking us behind the scenes and unveiling some of the factional wars that take place within the organization. And of course today, Mbali, some important testimony coming out in terms of some of the battles, at least within Parliament, over how to deal with malfeasance and corruption in the state.
That's right, Cassie. We also saw the testimony there at the Zondo Commission coming out from the Public Enterprises Committee chairperson. Of course, she was the chairperson during the time and tenure of the former president, and basically laying bare the divisions as well, filtering through even in the parliamentary caucus of the ANC. Let's take a listen, Kathy, to exactly what this witness today had to say.
We were living in fear, but when I informed the National Assembly Speaker about the intimidations, there was a follow-up by the security personnel to come and look at the risk of me being intimidated if I would not be able to, those people would not be able to maybe to do something worse to me or to my family. We were not given we were not assigned to a real security or to a security personnel that will always be next to me or next to my house. but there were people who were looking from afar what was happening inside in my house and with my family. We accepted the situation, and I was encouraged within the family that I cannot stop doing what I am doing. Let me go forward. If there is a need of me to get help, I will get help, but I will be healed in the running in the future, because I would have done the correct thing.
Of course, that was Zuki Swaranto. She was testifying at the commission today. Another witness who was also on the stand, Kathy, is the DA's James Self. We also know that the commission was expected to go and wrap up throughout the night. They were supposed to even give more testimony tonight, but we know that that has since been postponed. We know that there will be no state capture tomorrow, but it is expected to return on Thursday. And we know that Makosi Khoza is also expected on the stand.
I tell you what, with this kind of cold weather, I'm sure nobody is complaining that they've had to push some of those sessions out. Mbali, Thethani taking a look at politics, or today in politics.